What I expect is a decision on this Friday on European level, and then it must be implemented into Romanian law too. Therefore, I expect a new ordinance, so to say, still in September. And my message is it must happen soon, because otherwise we are running into a non-stable situation.
Mm-hmm. So the government hurried with this ordinance. I would like to talk more about it. I would like to ask, you have to buy energy at a maximum price of 1,300 lei. Did you try already to buy the energy at this price, and did you get any offers?
So today it's not working. The ordinance was surprising everybody. Yes, there was a try yesterday to buy at 1,300, and the only offer was at far more than 3,000 lei. So for this moment it does not work. I think this ordinance came by surprise to everybody. So I think everybody needs to rethink what is how to behave somehow in this new scheme. So I think let's take a few more days that everybody understands the ordinance and knows what to do, and let's see what happens on Friday on the European Union. But it's true, this ordinance says we only can buy electricity at maximum 1,300, otherwise it's just loss-making by law, which is not constitutional and not in line with European law. It's absolutely, it's not only a European law problem, it's also a Romanian constitution problem. So it only can work if Romanian state producers sell below 1,300. And I'm expecting this to happen, but in this moment it did not work yet. Yesterday there was a request of 1,300. The answer was minimum 3,000.
How do you see the solidarity tax?
That solidarity tax now that was introduced right
yes.
now. So it refers to everybody who makes extra profit. Again, E.ON did not make extra profits. We made additional losses. We are not profiting from the crisis. We do not intend to profit from the crisis. We do not profit from the crisis. We are just exactly as the grocery person in my village. So David is his name, and he buys in the morning, he sells in the afternoon. He just has to survive himself, but he's not making extra profits, huge extra profits if the price of tomato goes up. So it's the same for us. We did not make extra profits. On the tax, it refers. Therefore, I think the tax is not referring to us.
As a principle.
As a principle, the tax refers to traders, and the tax refers to producers. On the producers, I am afraid on the impact it has on already existing investors in Romania. We have to differentiate power plants that has been built a long time ago. They are depreciated. For them, you have just to pay, so to say, to pay as a normal running cost. There, an overtaxation can be discussed. But they have been investors 10 years ago in investing into renewables in Romania. Now they are punished because of the details of overtaxation. Because they sell electricity at each hour. When the wind is blowing, that's not a problem, but then they are overtaxed. And when the wind is not blowing, they have themselves to buy electricity, but not at the overtaxation level, but at market price level. So therefore, it's going to be disastrous for investors, for the existing investors in renewables. And here, I'm really afraid this destroys trust again. And the real thing that Romania needs to do to help the situation is use energy more efficiently. Therefore, I do not understand why still there is not enough done by the government to use and to support customers to use energy more efficiently, to have the same comfort as before, but using less energy. something must something be done in addition. And what Romania needs in addition is investments into renewables. And there's a high appetite to invest. Romania is a country with huge potential, physical potential of producing with sun and wind, but also with a very promising economy. So investors could come to Romania, but you can destroy trust within one day, and it needs a decade until it's restored. As it has been the case in Romania something like 10 years ago. Investors stopped investing into Romania, no investment done in the last years. We are not active in that business, therefore I can say it without being speaking pro domo for ourselves, but looking at the system, how energy system works, this system needs more investment into power generation, and therefore I really think this ordinance on this one needs to be rethought. Overtaxation as a principle in this very specific crisis situation may be an idea for depreciated power plants, but it must not be used to frighten investors.
Some voices in the market say that some suppliers will disappear from the market because of this ordinance. Do you think that? How do you see this matter?
As I just described, it can only work if the whole setup only can work if the electricity price we receive from state producers is below 1,300. Otherwise, it would be just a pure and simple and clear and brutal and quick expropriation. So I think that was the thought of the government behind writing the ordinance. Maximum 1,300 to be recovered from people like the grocery men like us, but it only can work if the sales price of producers is going to be below 1,300. Anyway, if producers ask for more than 450 lei today, everything above 450 is flowing to the state budget, so it's kind of extra tax already, just increasing state income, not going to be the profit of the companies. So offering for more than 450 lei already is kind of extra taxation of Romanian population. But asking for more than 1,300 would be expropriation. And therefore, I think the idea of the ordinance is to set up lower wholesale prices, knowing that EU decisions are going to come, and having in the ordinance the idea of state-owned producers to make up a long-term selling strategy. We have to wait for this. As I said, the ordinance came by surprise. And my message is we need to have a solution on this end of the equation until the end of September. Otherwise, if I know that I'm not going to get back the money, but I know that I have to pay it with this, I cannot ask for more credits. And if this would not be solved, you need two ends of the equation, and if one end is not solved very soon, then indeed there would be the risk of insolvencies.
Mm-hmm. If this would happen, is there capacity for the few suppliers left to take over the clients left by the company that goes into insolvency? Because we have few suppliers left. True. Already.
True. If a big supplier goes for insolvency, then it would be the state cannot allow for it. We have seen it several times. For instance, in the UK, there has been an example half a year ago of a company called Bulb Energy, and that company, also due to state interventions, was going for insolvency. And then, if that happens, that company had 1.7 million customers, and even if UK is a bigger country and having more other bigger suppliers, this company was too big, or the number of customers was too big to be taken over by any other supplier. If that company would have gone for insolvency, the next day the company that needs to supply millions of customers without knowing their addresses, without being able to invoice, would go for insolvencies too.